Alright, y'all. Nick Cannon sold his people out, and most people don't know why.
Why I hurt you? Why? What did I say?
He got his start by performing on public access TV, doing stand-up comedy. His father owned the local channel in North Carolina.
I started right here in North Carolina doing stand-up comedy in Charlotte. You know, I was out here just being the son of a preacher, man.
He would then go and apply for a job at Nickelodeon. Nick Cannon then became the staff writer for All That at the age of 17.
I kind of like Kevin better as a giant carrot.
Me too.
When they gave Nick Cannon the opportunity to rock the dress, they knew he'd be ready for Hollywood.
I would help you, but I don't want to.
Did I go wrong? Did I do something wrong by wearing a dress in my younger years?
Nickelodeon would then give Nick Cannon his own TV show called The Nick Cannon Show. After a couple of years in Hollywood, starring in numerous movies, Nick Cannon became a household name. By the early 2000s, Nick Cannon was on 3 different networks at one time. By 2019, Nick Cannon went woke. It was safe to say that he saw some inner dealings in the industry. In an interview with Vlad TV, Nick Cannon would talk about the dark demonic energy involved in Hollywood.
It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on. And people manipulate young women, they manipulate kids, and at the end of the day, it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So I've seen some where you be like, that's just not right. Like, that's just, that person shouldn't be talking to that person. That person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. That person shouldn't.
After seeing the inner dealings of the industry, Nick Cannon decided to create a platform to bring light to the truth tellers. It wasn't until Nick Cannon would have Professor Griff come on his show. Him and Professor Griff would have a conversation about who the true Israelites were. And people took this conversation and called Nick Cannon anti-Semitic.
When we give so much power to the theys. Right. When we talk, and then the theys then turn into the Illuminati, the Zionists, the Rothschilds, the Bilderberg group,
right.
the Freemasons.
Right.
And as a community, I feel, and I've done this myself, I want to blame others for the position that I'm currently in. Melanated people. When we talk about who we really are as guys and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what, you know, Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear in that
just genetic annihilation,
deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. That we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear, they're acting out of low self-esteem, they're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
Once the higher-ups got wind of Nick Cannon's interview, they canceled his TV show Wildin' Out. The higher-ups would then try to put DC Young Fly on the spot. They wanted him to take Nick Cannon's spot for the TV show Wildin' Out.
You had an opportunity when Nick Cannon went through what he went through.
Right.
They were going to replace him.
Allegedly.
With you. There are not very many people that would have turned that down.
Right.
Because that's a bigger paycheck. That's bigger, probably show credit.
Right.
And you say, nah, my man been too good to me. I can't do him like
See, one thing about how the industry work, they send little tricks to see would you or would you not.
Right.
So I never got on the phone with nobody and they was negotiating or whatever, but it was an interview and somebody said, hey man, you know, there's talks and woo-da-woo-da-woo, you know, they want you to woo-da-woo-da-woo, and would you take his position? I'm like, nah. And let this be the interview to tell everybody whoever it need to tell to.
Right.
I'm not taking no position because whatever's going, I gotta support my brother in whatever's going on.
Right.
Whatever he got going on, I just gotta support him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not taking no position from somebody who put me on.
Right.
Who does that?
Right.
Not over here in this community, not in the black community. We don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like I had to be there at all points of time, and I just had to ride the situation out. And here we is today, Wild 'N Out back on, Wild 'N Out tour going crazy, and we just shot another season and got 2 more seasons that we finna do.
After this took place, they made Nick Cannon apologize. Nick Cannon would then go on Twitter and make a public apology. He said, I just had the blessed opportunity to converse with Rabbi Abraham Cooper, director of Global Social Action, Simon Wiesenthal. My first words to my brother was, I apologize for the hurt I caused the Jewish community. Once he made a public apology, the higher-ups gave him his TV show back. Shortly after, Nick Cannon went through some traumatizing things that I can't say on YouTube, but if you know, you know.
Today is a special one, y'all. It's like for many reasons, but it's not gonna be an easy one because I got so much to talk about. I actually haven't even shared this with anybody, really. I mean, not even the crew. I came in, today is kind of quiet, and just because there's so much going on in the world, and I had a tough, very tough weekend, but it's like. So, probably before the show started in the summertime, Zen was born in June, on June 23rd, actually. Happened the last, holding my son for the last time. But it was a beautiful setting and even to spend that whole day. It was interesting because even as I was holding him, I was still preparing my day as it normally went to come back and, come here and still, I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I just...
To lose a son and still have to go on TV is insane. Let me know what y'all think. Nick Cannon turned his back on his people, or was this just a bad coincidence? Leave your comments below.